I briefly mentioned how this is like a transitional point for you and becoming a new dad, but also your course that you just created, Approachable Design. How much of it was just like good timing and like worked out, like you were going to leave that job and transition to this, or how much of this was you steering the boat? Like, I'm done with this job. I don't really want to do this anymore. And I want to start my own thing.
The only thing I did plan was putting in I wanted to get one rep in before having our baby. And so like I rushed out the first cohort right beforehand because I didn't want to wait another like month and a half. I feel like rite of passage last year, just taking that course and me kind of sticking with it, just put wheels into motion. And I knew that if I would just stick to something, like something good was going to come out of that. I just felt that deeply in my heart. Mm-hmm. The course came through conversations. It started with David talking about personal monopoly, and I resisted talking about design. I told him that, like I resisted because it felt cliche or felt too simple. And so I didn't want to do anything into the design space. And I just kept talking to people and getting more energized through conversations. I was thinking that maybe if the course has any traction, and if I keep writing, and if I continue just put stuff out into the world, like maybe I can see an opening where I could leave my job. Things never like perfectly align. Like I think that like junctions or intersections in your life don't always look like they'll work out. But I think that sometimes a mix of things happen, and it's like something sprouts up and it has to like get your attention. You're like, oh, okay, I'm not looking at the ground anymore. Let me just look up for a second. And then you see like a couple of paths, right? You don't know what's right or what's wrong, but you're kind of taken out of like your normal routine. Mm-hmm. And so my routine had been writing a newsletter, talking, just involving myself in communities and doing my full-time job. And that was like my routine. And then this happened and I kind of like perked up. I'm like, okay, I think I need to make a decision right now. Like I need either continue my job or just blow it up right now. It's not like it's worked out yet either. It's just a work in progress.
I was fortunate enough to be kind of part of your like beta testing. I felt like I knew nothing about design. I created this website for myself and just like didn't like it at all, but I didn't want it to stop me from, writing and publishing. So it's like, you got to get something up. Yeah. And you basically come in and help people tap into the things that make us who we are. It made me realize that like, oh, I do have tastes and I do have, an opinion on what I like. And you call this inside out design. Could you talk a little bit about what that is?
So when I would work a lot with freelance clients, they would always rely on me, the designer, to make design decisions for them. And a lot of the times they would say, you know what, like, we don't have the taste, or that's why we're hiring you to make these decisions. But the twist is they always care. They have a point of view, they have a perspective, and they don't know how to articulate it. The whole like underlying principle is that we all have taste, like you said. We all have a perspective, may just not know how to articulate it. And we may not know what it is because we've ignored it or we just haven't paid attention. And so the whole premise of inside out design is to think about how to take all of the experiences, all the things that you love in life, and all the things that shape who you are, and find a way to apply a visual aesthetic to that. My own experience was I had to do the hard work. I drew palm trees for 100 days to like figure out my own aesthetic. And I don't ask my students to do that. That's too much work. But like, I basically kind of go back and say, let's talk about who you are and what makes you you. And let's start to apply like a visual platter to all of that. And then from that, that's kind of like your new language, like your visual language. But then we start to spot patterns and all of that. And then we extract colors and shapes and textures from that to help like refine your aesthetic. And the whole point of this is to help find design decisions that connect back to who you are. Mm. And then you'll give a fuck about what typeface you use, what color you use, because you know that it connects to something deeply inside you. And so we're using inside out design to kind of like pour that out onto the page.
So cool. And I want to mention this for anybody who's taking the course. We were looking through pictures and you were kind of just telling me to kind of just say stop when I see something that resonated with me. And I got very nervous. And I was like,
it's scary.
Yeah, it's like a little bit like, there's all this self-doubt. Like, I'm not going to pick the right pictures. You have to really trust your gut and just really think about what is resonating with you. And there is no right or wrong. So I just wanted to say that for anybody who decides to take your course, to really just what pictures just really like touch your soul. And then it's easy. But anyway, I recently had a photo shoot and I had emails back and forth with a photographer about what I wanted. I was very specific about the different shots that I needed, and the look that I was going for, the colors, the style. And then when he came to my house for the shoot, and he was, checking in with me about things. And I was, anytime he would show me something, I'd be immediately like, I was so ready to tell him like, no, that doesn't work. Yes, that's perfect. And I felt so empowered. I just felt so confident in my decisions and that I was part of the process with this photographer. It wasn't just like holding my breath. He's taking pictures. I hope these turn out good. And I'd like something for my website. It was like, we were in it together. And I just wanted to thank you for that, because it was really cool.
Wow, that like means so much. And that's exactly it. Like oh man, the confidence that you were like talking with right there, most people don't have that, and they don't have the confidence in their own decisions. And I think that's, for you to be able to like talk with a creative person who's using a skill that you're not gifted at, but you're still able to like communicate what you want with that person, like that's an incredible gift. So man, I'm so excited for you. And the picture you showed me was amazing, because it felt exactly like it was from one of those pictures,
right?
Sort of embody that aesthetic. Yeah.
I know, that's why I wanted to show you right away. Cause I'm like, this is like exactly like what I was telling you that I wanted for my photos. Once we like, we had to go through the whole process and like talk about like, you don't just say, it's not just as simple as like, where you're from or who your friends are. Like it's like really figuring out like what matters to you. And then it just, it exudes out from that. It was so valuable. And I think that it's so cool that you're able to provide this in such a short amount of time, to give people these tools then to walk away from this and feel empowered with their design choices. And you use this for so many things in your life.
I truly believe that once you have this confidence about what you like, then like you said, it starts to kind of like just kind of like water sort of seep in all these different areas of your life. And you start to make design, like interior design decisions off of this stuff. Like you choose clothes that you are excited about, you choose objects because you know why you like it. And I think having a really good understanding of your personal taste just is universal. It goes everywhere.